Welcome back to another episode of Advanced Dungeons and Intermediate Dragons. I'm not going to make the same mistake again. I hope you can notice a audio-visual quality upgrade, other than, now that you can actually hear me, because I got some new kit.
New gear.
New gear. And, hopefully it's noticeable. Hopefully it makes your listening experience far more pleasant.
Beautiful. I'm so glad I don't have to have you up at 200% anymore for you to be, like, audible at all.
Yeah, it's nice knowing that I'm not, like, the ringleader of this chaos train on, like, shitty equipment. Do you know what I mean? Like, felt like P.T. Barnum whenever he was working out of the museum. Don't you dare say moist again in this chat.
Moist.
Dang ass greatest showman reference, cunt.
Oh god. So yes, we are unfortunately missing two of the people today. Kronk the Relentless, he/him, Way of the Performer Monk at Distractions are he/him. And Lilith Greylocks, she/her, College of Whispers Bard at Alaska Babe _ they/she. I need to adjust it. They is the preferred pronoun. But
they're starting riots in America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, apparently there's a whole festival of them. So.
Yeah, a whole festival of riots. That should be held here.
It is. It's called the 12th of July.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, we do better.
So, and we are actually missing a third person. My lovely, lovely wife, Alex Reyes 98 in chat there, the one who said moist, was supposed to join us tonight, but technical difficulties got in the way. But if all goes well, next week is the plan. So, I don't have anything. Well, actually, I do have one thing to promote. I'm going to keep saying it over the next couple of weeks. At the end of this little run of guest slots, the exact date is going to be the 16th of October. We are hopping over onto a new channel, Advanced _ Dungeons. It will be changed just to Advanced Dungeons, but you love Twitch's naming rules. So we're going to be hopping over there in a couple of weeks' time. Everything will be condensed there. You'll find us all there. Some of us will do solo streams. Some of us will use it as a second channel. I'll probably use it as a main channel to stream on. That kind of thing. And other than that, I don't have anything else to say. Does anybody else have anything they would like to promo today?
Yeah, I can go. I'd just like to say that I did get my email last night from Rog, and I've not made it through to the next round. But I'd just like to thank everyone that voted and shared the link and stuff. I'm gonna do the giveaway soon. Like real life kind of got in the way for a bit with like a lot of extra shifts at work, plus like organizing for this. And obviously just any spare time was devoted to campaigning. But I'm gonna, we don't stop. We'll try and again next time. And thanks everyone for your support.
Yeah. I wasn't, I wasn't part of the campaign, so Rog, what the fuck? I mean,
they don't know what they're missing out on.
What's up?
I appreciate that.
First, you can't just. I apologize if there's any royalists in chat, but first you say that we're celebrating Lizzie died, and now all of a sudden Cass isn't good enough for your pantheon.
Sounds like sectarian to me.
I don't think my views on Lizzie had anything to do with it. I think it was a case of there was some very other good candidates with a larger and more tenured base. But I do appreciate everyone who voted. So.
Yes.
Cass, you should change your subscription sound on Twitch to Lizzie's in a box. Because then you would have Margaret Thatcher's dad for following, and Lizzie's in the box for subscribing.
For now, my current subscriber notification is me going, "Zap and Shagger," like a little friendly thing. But I might change it to Lizzie's in a box.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, Lizzie's in a box, chance.
Next Celtic match, you have to go with like your condenser and just get as many people as you can. Listen, just record yourself saying this and then overlay it, and then just make. Oh yeah, so my subscription notification was brought to you by the Celtic Football Supporters Club.
I could literally just go to the group because I sit like right beside the Green Brigade, who are like the diehard Celtic fans. I could go on the count of 3. Lizzie's in a box. What? Because they did a thing right, and British TV muted it. But all the like Italian coverage and French coverage like played it as is. Like they turned all the mics off in the crowd and stuff. But they St Mirren, who are one of the Scottish clubs, decided to host a minute's applause for the Queen because they knew that a minute's silence would not be respected by the Celtic fans. So they thought, oh, we'll do something active, and then they can't really like overlay it like with breaking the minute's silence just by shouting. So they started all doing this clapping, and they started going, "If you hate the royal family, clap your hands. If you hate the royal family, clap your hands. If you hate the royal family, hate the royal family, hate the royal family, clap your for a minute, just straight." And all the officials are like, "We agreed to do this," and none of them stop. Like none of them are like, "Well, like, no, I don't."
They can't. It's an agreement.
Incredible.
So, yeah. But yes, that was me.
Damn.
Thank you for the support on ROG. I appreciate it.
You deserve it.
I have quick few announcements. I have obviously now returned from Sweden. I want to say a big thank you to everyone that I met out there from all the LEC casters were fucking phenomenal. And all the people involved in the cosplay and the GT army were all absolutely amazing. And yeah, it was an absolutely phenomenal weekend. Cannot wait to be back for spring, wherever that takes place. As you may have seen on my Twitter, once we do the swap over to the AD channel, this channel is going to be at least temporarily shut down. Well, it's not shutting down, it's just not going to be used, because I'm like too busy to be doing like my own personal streams outside of D&D stuff at the minute, trying to get like writing work going off the ground and everything, and just a whole other pile of personal life stuff. So I am not going to be able to keep streaming for the foreseeable. But you will see me on like a number of different stuff over on the AD channel. So Glenn's right. This channel will be going on an indefinite hiatus. I'm not sure how long that's going to last. When Dragonflight comes out, I may come back and do a couple of streams then. But we'll see what happens. We will be looking at, now that I'm back, we'll look at organising the second part of the Citadel of the Unseen Sun one shot, well, no, 2-shot. So we will be organising that on, that'll potentially be organised on this channel if we can get it done in time before the swap over, but if not, it'll be over on the new AD channel.
Yeah.
Anything? I'm gonna take that to mean no.
Oh, no.
Go
Go
subscribe to whatever.
Oh, yeah, go subscribe to all my stuff. All the stuff. I'm going out of town for a long time. Like, over the next month, I think I'm only home for like 3 or 4 days. So, not a lot of news in the streaming world for me.
Mysterious jet setter.
Just TwitchCon and vacation.
Yeah. Understandable.
If you're going to TwitchCon San Diego, come find me.
There you go.
All I ever wanted, vacation to get away.
Just very quickly, because I will probably forget to say it later. Eli, I just sent you something on Facebook that I think you'd be very interested in. It is there's a certain famous esports organization that is hiring interns, including marketing, social media, and web content journalism creation.
I've seen that, but I have a certain set of morals, and would not work for that organization if it was the last thing I did.
Fair enough.
But I appreciate it nonetheless.
Fuck you, Blizzard Entertainment. What?
No, they're an esports organization with a very kind of sketchy past over the past couple of years. And yeah, no, that while I appreciate it, Mux, no, that's not someone I would consider working with.
You just gotta tell me they have like professional Smash players, and that's enough. Like,
Probably.
World of Warcraft related.
okay, yeah, fair
You
enough.
can probably put two and two together.
Yeah, I put. Well, I don't think it's 2 and 2. It's more like 4 and 5. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's clicked. It's clicked. Shall we fire in?
Yeah.
If we are ready, let's launch into tonight's episode.
Advanced Dungeons and Intermediate Dragons.
And we're back.
Hello.
Sorry, it's like the ROG link came up, like because we haven't disabled it. If you click on the link and look at me, it's in black and white and says eliminated, like I've been fucking killed. Like holy shit!
Fatality.
Like, come on, ROG. I don't think it was that bad.
Remembering Red Robin class.
Damn.
Grandad Gaming, I'm gonna give my official endorsement.
Grandad Gaming was pretty fucking great.
I mean, Jassel's also pretty good. I'm looking at who got through, and it is, largely some really cool people. So, I'm glad about that. But yes, apologies, we're back.
So, last we left off, the party had just finished 2 shopping episodes. Technically, one was kind of half shopping, half RP. Gathering new stuff for the house that they now live in, the kind of lakeshore ambassador's manor. 2 members of the party whisked themselves away to have some alone time. Side quest.
That's what you kids are calling it these days.
There was definitely some beating of monsters. And in that while, the 3 remaining party members. Jesus, sorry, I never knew water would make me burp so much. In that time, the 3 remaining party members went along and talked to Avadar Truearm, headmaster, strongest being in the world, generally pretty cool guy. Got a couple of answers. Looks like Idris Elba, so of course. Got a few answers that they were looking for. Voiced some of their concerns with the way things could be. Got some vague wisdom thrust upon them. And we're told that for the next while, just focus on being students. It's okay to just be students for a while. So, with that, the weekend has come and gone. You enjoyed a relatively lazy Sunday. Waiting on the delivery, where most of your furniture that you guys had ordered, because, retconning and people getting furniture. Most of the furniture that you guys had ordered have been delivered, and there was probably a little bit of a team building day of, getting everything into the house, getting it in place, ordering food, that kind of thing. A pretty chill experience.
Manuals, like, why is the whole thing in Dwarvish? Like,
Hergel Ferkebarder, getting much better border.
Luckily, Dracian had just spent and Lilith had spent the entire day with the dwarves, which is why they weren't there last week.
Yeah, totally.
So in my infant that has learned to read Swedish, have learned to read Dwarvish now.
There we go. But yes, they had a bit of a, setting things up the way they wanted them. Whew. My webcam went fuzzy there, needed to refocus it. As the eve of Sunday, as the eve of trading comes to a gentle lull, the noise just outside the window, you can hear the kind of not too close and not too distant, not too close and not too distant noise of the waves kind of lapping up on the edge of the shore, and every now and again, if you listen carefully, you can hear the calls of a dragon turtle in the deep, deep bellows of the lake. The stars and the moon are in the sky. The sun is gone. It is. Both suns are currently down. As this kind of lull falls over the evening, Kronk is passed out in one of the chairs in the living room. In kind of the typical dad after half a day's work. Got the feet up on the recliner, fall like that. Lilith has taken herself off to her room. Just asking for some time. Maybe it's been a long day, maybe she's tired. Who knows? Which leaves the three of you. Kyler, Geraldine, and Drusian. In the dining room, gathered around this large, long, 12-person dining table, where there is a number of small bags with nuts and bolts, an assortment of tools, both old and new, and the ones that you get whenever you buy the furniture because they know you won't have the exact tool that you need. Pizza boxes here, there, whatever food you guys have ordered throughout the day. As this kind of day comes to an end, it dawns on you that tomorrow is the first day of classes. First day of proper classes. Where you are students going to learn, going to, immerse yourself in the joy of knowledge, as Avadar so frequently likes to put it. And as that kind of feeling washes over each of you, you do notice that after a little bit of talking, each of you are in the same class. You're all taking, where is it here? Oh, actually, incorrect. Me and my colorblind ass, I've got things mixed up with things, but you're all taking the kind of, it's a class that it starts off as one and splits off into two, which is the Intro to Magical Beasts and Herbology classes. They start off as the same class, and they split off into two.
Specialize.
Yeah, but the reason they start as the same thing is many times for smaller creatures, such as mandrakes, they kind of blur the line between plant or creature. So they sometimes, are in the same thing, and it's about learning the environment and where you can find things. And as this realization of, oh, we're all going to be in the same class tomorrow, kind of like washes over you, is there anything that you guys would like to talk about before class, or?
There's something I'd like to do, and the second you start ring, I was like, I need to do this.
Okay.
So Kyler is going to as the conversation's kind of ongoing, like, oh, we're in the same class, is going to look under, like, through bags in the sink to find some shaving cream and a feather duster.
Okay.
Yeah,
You don't find any.
Find both of. Is there no shaving cream?
You find a feather duster. You don't find any shaving cream.
Is there whipped cream?
Yeah, I'd say you guys have probably bought whipped cream.
You said about whipped cream? Okay. Kyle's gonna go have a look at this. I saw this once in a Surface movie, and is gonna approach the sleeping Kronk. Spray whipped cream all up his hand and forearm, and just start tickling under his nose with the feather duster.
It takes slightly longer than you expect for Kronk to react. And at first it's just this kind of... And with the awareness of, someone who has spent most of their time training, fighting, like honing their reactions, swings a mighty swing, cracks himself in the head, and you hear an audible, like...
Oh no.
And rather than the light, joyously hearted and having shaving cream all over his face, Kronk's eyes open for a split second before rolling back and closing again as he has knocked himself out. He is still unconscious on the reclining chair. However, he is no longer snoring. Because you don't snore
Kyler
when you're knocked out.
It's the best thing ever. He's like,
Incredible.
I'm gonna try just roll him over onto his side so he doesn't choke on his own fucking vomit. Like, okay, on we go.
Drazian just goes over and gives Kyler a high five at that point.
Kyler will accept.
As you manage to get Kronk kind of rolled over into some faux recliner assisted recovery position where one arm and one leg is kind of like curled over his own body, hanging off the chair. He is just still knocked out. Not, instinctively knocking himself out with the full force of his strength.
It's the first PC unconsciousness we've had as well.
True, self-inflicted. Damn, can't believe the first one we lost was to the whipped cream prank.
But what of the whipped cream? Is the whipped cream everywhere?
The whipped cream is perfectly like in a diagonal across his face, and kind of like almost like like a blood splatter. If somebody like stands in front of the wall and blood splatters on them,
Yeah.
like you see the outline of his face as like and whipped cream making a Kronk shaped outline on the recliner chair.
Incredible.
But a good amount of the whipped cream is still on his arm, which is now in the recovery position, and just every 40 to 50 seconds you just hear a very wet as the whipped cream begins to melt and go onto the floor.
Who do we Geraldine, Dre, who do we have for class tomorrow then? Asking you to like find out. Do we know?
Can I like look at the timetable and does
madam?
it say? Is it Madam Mercury?
Unfortunately,
I know there was a
the
or was-
timetable that you currently have says Professor Udice. Because it would have been
Substitute teacher. Let's go.
Dre kind of like looks down and gets this like oh fuck look and is like, it was supposed to be Professor Udice.
Yeah, I don't think there's much of a prayer for him.
You know it's bad when you're saying that.
No, they're just going to pull a weekend at Noli's. They're going to put sunglasses on them and just welcome students to class.
Weekend at Avatars.
Weekend at Avatars, yeah.
Cool. What? I mean, I'm sure they'll find somebody, right? They won't have us absent on the first day.
You never know. Extraordinary circumstances. I don't think they were expecting him to be basically fucking comatose.
Well, no, probably not.
And it is short notice. We only brought him in the other day, so
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. That's true.
we'll turn up tomorrow and see what happens.
Do you need a ride?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, sure. GB,
Sorry, what?
do you need a ride?
To class?
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool. I'll honk the horn when I'm ready.
Unfortunately,
I don't know what Shenjo's horn honk is.
You ever seen those? You ever seen those clips of turtles like humping?
That was exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
amazing. Unfortunately, Azuria isn't big enough for me to use as a taxi service just yet, so...
As you say the words taxi service, Azuria crawls up from like her kind of normal sitting position, like in the pouch around your waist. She kind of crawls up to your ear and just usually when she gets up there, she likes to cuddle, but you just feel a sharp pain on your earlobe as.
Ow, sorry, traveling companion, yes. I know. It was a joke.
She reluctantly lets go of your earlobe and kind of.
I just gotta give her a little nozzle in the spot under her like jawbone that she really likes, just to like calm her down a bit.
As a pseudo dragon, she doesn't speak, but you do hear in your kind of like mind's eye what could only be like described as reptilian purring. So.
Well, in that case, Kyler will most likely head up to bed, do some stretching, do a bit of meditation, a bit of prayer, and then go to sleep.
Okay.
Get that long rest.
Yeah. What about the two of you?
I think Geraldine's gonna go to the library and, pour over more books. And I think there was something that, I think the recipes that I had like a certain amount of hours I had to work on that a day as well. Can I do that? Do you know how many hours a day it is to make that progress?
I will double check here. I do have everything here. I just need to check it.
Yeah, it was for the potion of haste.
Yeah.
I think it was. I wrote down that I was learning it. It takes 30 working days. How long is a working day?
8 hours. With an hour for lunch.
Yeah, but essentially you have to spend like 30 days worth of like, not like 24 hours times 30, but like 8 hours times 30. So what's that? 240.
Yep.
240 hours essentially making a potion to master it so that you can make it like on the go. Do you know what I mean?
Gotcha. Okay.
So you can like put that work in if you want to.
Yeah, and with the other ones, like I get the 3 recipes for both of the kits. How long does it? If they're at the common level, can I just make them instantly as it is, or is there a learning process for them too? Oh, I know
Elaborate.
you sent me this thing about that. Hold on.
Yeah, I send you the link to it. That's what I was trying to find it there on.
Oh, it says 1 work day, and that's
Or
1 work day and 50 gold per each for
yeah,
each recipe found. Okay. So if I get the 3 when I get the kits, do I still have to do the 1 working day for each of them? Is that how that
yes,
works?
because
Okay.
you don't know them yet, but it's
Okay.
comparatively a much shorter time. So
Okay, well, in that case, I'm gonna go knock out making I guess the learning process for the potion of healing, the one that's a 2d4 plus 4. I guess it's
yeah,
just like the basic healing pot.
yeah, not a problem.
Yeah, so I'll work on that. I'm gonna go to the
Right,
library, and which
just
I've
start
sort
work.
of set up to be where like my like herbalism and like alchemy area, as long with like the whole library section.
Yeah,
So
you
that's
just
sort of
kind of
like my
like
working zone. Yeah.
you've cleared out one of the bay windows, and you just like set everything up so you can just sit on the floor and work away, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
not a
now,
problem.
anyway. Till it becomes like an evil mastermind area, I'm sure.
Um, so then I'm assuming you're going to use trance so you can get
Yeah.
as much work as possible in. Yeah, then you know what I'll say over the course of the whole night, you could probably get 6 out of the 8 hours that you
Okay.
need. So if you can just find like 2 extra hours
Yeah.
somewhere, you can finish learning it. Okay. What about yourself, Trazian?
Uh, question. You see the bar upstairs? Is there any. What level of spirits in there? Is there any, like, flavored liqueurs or anything?
There is, but everything in here is like old.
Is
Like,
it still good? Like with most like alcohol, like with a lot of the spirits, it would tend to be like okay or like get better with age anyway. So
Spirits,
well,
roll initiative.
with most of the spirits, it's fine. Yes. Flavored spirits are a bit of a different story in that regard because of the sugar. So they kind of get really bitter after like a certain amount of time. Um, there's a couple here. There's nothing like super special, but there's
is there
your
like botanical gins and stuff like that?
yeah. There's like botanical gins, vanilla vodkas, that kind of thing. You know,
Okay,
it's
and
anything you
is the
find in a
kitchen stocked
cheap
with
bar.
blueberries?
Uh, the kitchen, thanks to Geraldine Boulevard, is of course stocked with blueberries.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna like get like small bowl of blueberries, and go up to the bar. And I'm gonna make myself just like an old fashioned whiskey. I assume there's like stuff there, or I will have bought stuff to be able to make like an old fashioned. And then I'm going to like try and make like a sweet kind of gin drink for Geraldine. Put like blueberries on a garnish and like take that because I need to go to the library anyway. And
Okay.
I assume that's where she was going, so I like come in with bowl of blueberries and a drink. Was like, seems
I
like you'll
should
be in.
say this becomes a bit of an endeavor because to get into the library you have to climb a ladder. So there's probably a bit where you're like,
Well, I can take one drink up at a time, like so. I can leave my shit down there and like take Geraldine's stuff up first,
yeah.
and then I like eventually when I have all the stuff upstairs, I go over to where Geraldine's and I was like, oh, seemed you might be in for the not long haul tonight, so thought you could use.
Oh, thanks.
No worries.
Are you needing to work up here tonight too? I can clear some space if you need
Um,
any.
Yeah, I can sit wherever really. But yeah, if you don't need the whole space, that's great. I wanted to look at the dragon book that I found down in the quarry. So.
Oh, okay. I'm just, trying to make some healing potions.
Oh, nice.
Not quite there yet, but we'll see.
You'll get there. Did you pick up a couple of recipes while you were shopping?
Yeah, figured I might as well try to, make something useful. Some vials of acid, some antitoxins, and healing potions, things like that.
Come up with a new recipe.
That's it! I've come up with a new recipe!
Can I develop recipes can I make a potion?
We can talk about it, yeah, absolutely.
You're gonna go for the Skyrim approach, tasting everything and being like,
I mean,
health.
I said before we started this campaign, I'm cool with you guys even coming up with your own spells if you put the work into it. Your characters could canonically create new spells if they put the work in.
Just what Glenn has just put in chat. Hey Dre, wanna make some pot with me? Breaking Boulevard.
Oh my god. Not what that means.
So yeah, I'm gonna
tell me to put her fan down. No,
I'm the DM. I do what the fuck I want. So I'm
your biggest fan, Max.
I'm gonna look through the dragon book. I also want to peruse the library bit and see is there any kind of basic books on like enchanting weapons for dummies or anything like that.
Geraldine did go through the entire library and organize it. So it is actually in I'm a librarian. We'll use the Dewey Decimal System. It is in a proper librarian order. So it should be simple to find.
Okay.
If it's there.
Cool. Is there anything like that there, Max?
There is certainly stuff. It explains the basics of enchanting.
Mm-hmm.
It explains the methodology and the theoretical behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Application-wise, it doesn't necessarily give details. It doesn't necessarily give the, here is what is best for what. Here's the equipment you need. But if you study, because you're elf, half-elf?
Half-elf. You
don't get trance, I believe.
No, unfortunately, thanks to my human father.
Hank the Big Dave.
Please, Dave Callias was my father. Call me Drazian.
Yeah, I don't believe I get trance. I've advantage against charmed and magic can't put me to sleep, but I don't believe I have trance.
How long would you like to spend kind of going through this theoretical understanding of enchanting?
What kind of time is it now once I've got up there and got settled down with these couple of books?
10:15, 10:30.
Okay. I am going to spend 2 hours on the dragon book, and I'm going to spend 2 hours on the enchanting book as well, because Drazian normally wouldn't go to sleep until about 2 anyway. So.
Yeah, they both give you a pretty good insight into each of their topics. The dragon book, of course, being about copper dragons specifically, study of their diets.
I was waiting for it.
It's a study of their habits, their diets, their habitats, the kind of things that they would base a little bit of chromatic society off of, that kind of thing. And it is it kind of interchanges between written in the third person and the first person. There's no author name on the book, so you don't know if it's like co-authors, what the situation is. But you do manage to gain a little bit more understanding of it.
Copper dragons do. They're acid-based ones, aren't they?
Copper is acid. Yes.
Acid and gas in it.
That's it.
Dropping copper.
Dropping copper.
2 tabs of copper dragon. Let's go.
God, that would be horrendous.
Yeah, because bronze are the ones with the electric breath weapon, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, I always get mixed up between those two. Okay, cool. Do I gain like any? If they're acid, it would be black dragons would be the chromatic counterpart to them, then, wouldn't it?
Yes, correct.
So do I get like any like contrasts or like similarities? Does the book describe any contrasts or similarities between those two, or like between like chromatic and metallic dragons in general?
It alludes to them, and it mentions it very briefly in passing. But this seems to be one book out of a set of many. So you gather that it's intended to have all the books so that they don't need to kind of describe the same things over and over again. But there are a few times where it's like, the copper dragon, much akin to the black dragon of the chromatic family, harness the element of acid, that kind of thing. But there's nothing like in depth about black dragons in here. No.
Is there any references to like Draconic Deities in the book, or is it more like a field guide study of copper dragons?
No, there is a reference to Bahamut, the like lord of the metallic dragons.
Yeah.
Chromatic, metallic. Which?
Bahamut is metallic, and then Tiamat's chromatic.
Yeah.
Metallica.
But yeah, there's references. There's talking very small bits about the belief system. And again, it all kind of feeds into the idea of that this is one book of many. So
Okay.
you kind of gather, okay, I need to find the rest of these.
Can I take a quick look at the because Geraldine's organized this library now, so if any of the other books are in here, I assume I'd be able to find them quite easily. So can I take a quick glance in the library and see if there's any there?
There are a few other books about dragons,
but none of the set.
None of this set. No, there's a few that are just like things to watch out for when you see a dragon in the wild. How do you know that?
It's fire safety version of dragons.
Yeah, it's
Only
like
you can prevent breath weapon accidents.
Stop, drop, and roll for initiative.
How do you know whenever this seemingly very wise woman that you're sleeping with is actually a dragon in their human form? That kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So you're a draconic bloodline sorcerer. What now?
Do we have like a version of like Amazon Prime or Kindle in this world where you can easily look up and get access to books?
Yeah.
Or like next day delivery service for books and stuff?
Not as easy as Kindle.
I would assume libraries also exist.
We do have a uni across the water, right? Like maybe check.
There's the uni across the water. But there is like you can like go online and kind of like order books. Just don't know how much Geraldine would judge you for that because you're not supporting local.
Well, no, I just want to look for the series of books so I know what I'm looking for, because like I know it said it was part of a series, but I don't know what the names of the other books are. So I'm trying to see if I can use the name of this book to cross-reference the others so I can actually go to the bookstores and find the others?
That usually would work. Annoyingly, the name of this is quite literally just A Guide to Copper Dragons.
Great.
You have a feeling that, like, the person who wrote these was not necessarily a writer at heart, but rather just wrote because they wanted to.
Okay.
So you don't manage to find anything that looks like it would fit into this. Not making you roll, because you can just, like, spend as much time as you want on this. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you're in the middle of combat. Pardon me. But yeah, so you don't find anything that looks like it's in the same series.
Okay, this may be a question for Avatar True Arm at some point, given all his knowledge about stuff and being
Everything.
like, dude, do you know what these other books are and where I could find them?
I feel like a librarian would be a good stop before Avatar, but like,
Who's taking our class tomorrow? Because it is magical beasts, right? Like,
Yeah. No, I'm gonna bring that book with me tomorrow anyway. But I'm just like thinking of all avenues of like who I can go to find the other fucking books in the series, and then I just spend the rest of the time on the enchantment book and like basically trying to like look at the theory. I've got like my notebook beside me, like taking notes as I've been doing with the dragon one instead, but I flipped to a different section to do about the enchantment stuff, and I'm trying to look at anything about enchanting swords.
Okay.
Specifically swords, for the thing that we talked about before the campaign.
Yeah. There's nothing specifically about swords. There are sections about weaponry, about what different weapons take to, but there's not like a chapter that's just like, here's how to do this to a sword.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
kind
but
of
about like the theory of how magic like affects different weapons. Because do you remember how in what was the blacksmith place called? I keep going to say Stone Rights, but Deepstone. Yeah, that's the one. How like it was. They were saying it was potentially difficult to get lightning to flow in to like work with a sword of that type. So just about like how different elements and different forms of magic affect different styles of weapons, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's not necessarily about the type of weapon, it was the material. Avon steel is renowned for being a very like sturdy steel. But its arcane conductivity is a little bit lacking. You personally know the reason behind that, which is that its arcane conductivity is lacking, but its divine and ethereal conductivity is rather strong. There are kind of tales of old tales of Avon weapons actually holding the souls of their previous owners after death because of the attachment that has been bonded. So that is kind of what you know of it. The way that it's described in the book is very much just there are certain enchantments that work better with certain weapons. Fire will always work best with a sword. Cold will always work best with something blunt, and that kind of thing. It's mainly to do with the kind of damage it deals. But there's nothing super particular about the like what to do if XYZ problem arises. It's very much a theoretical and hypothetical. here's the science behind it, or here's the magic behind it. Go ahead and do what you need to do. If you spend a couple more hours on this, you'd probably be confident enough to take a whack at enchanting small items without disadvantage on the roll.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. I'm happy to do that then.
Okay. Are you still only spending 2 hours on it tonight, and then you're going to spend more hours on it later?
I want to spend like as much time as I can without me being fucked for rest tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. I'll say you can stretch to about 3 hours. Then.
Okay. Cool.
You can stretch it.
What time is it when Jay starts like shifting ideas of like what he's doing? Like if he like gets up and like starts like walking around the library or anything like that.
Probably just after like 11:30, just before midnight.
GB's gonna sort of like, I guess like yell across. That's not gonna wake anyone up if she like yells across the library, right?
No,
it's not that big.
You're yeah.
I'm gonna, GB's gonna ask if Jay is planning on like spending the night up here, like working through the night, or.
I'm gonna spend probably as much time as I can without completely fucking myself for class tomorrow. So I'm probably up here for a good while.
I still have those long rest sandwiches we got from the Olive Pit if you need to stay up working. I'm sure if you can take a short rest and you get the equivalent of a long rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that could help if there's something pressing you're doing.
Those are getting ready to go bad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then yeah. At this point, I'm like, might as well take one of those.
Yeah. I assume, would that be something I would like take out of the bag and holding and like have had in the fridge, or?
Even if you have them in the fridge, like there's only a certain amount of time before the ingredients go.
Okay.
There's sliced roast beef, and it's kind of starting to get that like. Do you know whatever the moisture?
No, don't say it. Just don't say it.
Do you know whatever the moisture from the beef? It's like yeah. So it's still like it's okay to eat, but it's like
but like much longer, and it's not something we can keep indefinitely.
Yeah.
For
yeah.
Sure. I assume there's GB keeps snacks in the library. I'm gonna assume there's a snack area with coffee and whatnot.
Oh, 100%.
So I'm gonna sort of like yell over to Dre. Yeah, there's some of the long rest sandwiches from the Olive Pit. If you want to help yourself to one of them, they're probably not going to be good for much longer. So
Thanks.
just make sure you like just take a break to eat, I guess.
Thanks. You should do the same as well. I know what you were like when we were at Nestor's, and you didn't take a break. So make sure you do take a break at some point.
I mean,
don't work yourself too hard.
It's all right. I'll just, a couple hours and I'll be all right.
All right. Well, looks like it's you and me for the long haul tonight then. And I take the long rest sandwich and get into that. So it's kind of like I'm just like necking a monster just to like keep my energy levels up for the night.
I have a question. Out of character, I have a question.
Yes.
Does Azuria have fully formed scales yet? Or is it like some type of like different exterior and like dragons get scales later, or how does that work?
There are scales, but they're like soft.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They haven't developed the keratin to harden yet.
Yeah.
They're like you can kind of like whenever you like stroke Azuria, you can feel the the texture of the scales, but when you rub the other way, they kind of squidge slightly, and it's a little bit gross.
Yeah.
But
Eli, I'm sending you something, and I need you to tell me if this is something that's like feasible.
Okay.
Geraldine Boulevard would never ruin a book, but there's books about cryptocurrency, and you open it up, and it's been cut out, and there's just like snacks inside.
Amazing.
Jeez, I mean, I've now made the book more useful,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
The non-fungible trident.
right. NFTs.
I just say that I know, but I own it. I own this picture of trident.
But surely, if you like stop believing in the god, you lose it. No, but like I don't, don't have a receipt saying that I own it, but I own it.
Religion's just the blockchain.
So when it says a single scale, she doesn't have them yet, technically, right? Like,
Order.
I know what this is about, and probably not. No, like I think I know what this is about, and probably I don't think it would work.
All right.
okay.
Thank you very much. Go ahead and order McDonald's for me and Darcy.
Muck, something's happened with your fucking camera.
Oh no!
Oh, is it like gone away?
No, it's not gone away.
You look like fucking missing. No.
There we go.
There you
You're
go.
back. I'd say that probably wouldn't be feasible right now, but eventually will be.
Yeah, like, is that something I could practice
Thank you
with,
very much, Mel.
at least? Because I was reading this level.
Also, thank you to Glenn.
I mean, we could talk about this out in the open. I was looking at potions, and there's one to do with dragons specifically that requires a dragon scale.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, it's technically a legendary potion, and I was looking that up, and it says it takes 25 working weeks. So I'm wondering how.
Like how adult does
Like
does Azuria have to be for that
Yeah,
for that scale
before
to
I
count?
can. Yeah, before I can start actually working through that.
I'm going to say that I'm getting up the exact way that like it is worded in the Disagiri subclass here. Because that
this
is
one we're looking at.
It's the Potion of Dragon's Majesty.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm
I was
looking
looking
at.
at something
Okay.
else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mux is looking at specifically how Azuria ages.
No, yeah. I was just saying so everyone knows what I'm talking about. Like, I assume I found herbalism and alchemy books in the library on like a basic level that has mentioned things, But this also just sounds cool. And 25 working weeks.
It's like half a year.
Yeah.
unfortunately Azuria doesn't officially become a. Actually, the way this is worded, she becomes a wormling at level 6.
Yeah.
She does not become a young dragon until 10th level. However, wormlings are always wormlings of a dragon class.
Yeah.
So at next level,
She starts having.
she
Okay.
starts having scales that you could use.
Yeah.
Okay, this sounds really gross, but would I have to harvest that in some sense, or is this something like that she would just shed?
Dragons do not shed their scales unless it's like through battle. So
Okay,
you would,
so
you would have
Azuria
to
is
like
not-
you would have to like harvest, like hold her down and like pull out a scale.
I don't want to do that. Okay, never mind.
Well, maybe opportunistically in battle, like, oh well, since you're not using them anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if that in that sense, I mean, GB as a druid is much of the mindset of will not be harming creatures for science.
Yeah.
It's not
Which-
one, not though.
Yeah, exactly. Like if it's there, and it's like already been,
Anybody
detached.
want to do the McDonald's Monopoly with me?
Go on.
Go and pull it.
stream we have one fuck all.
F.
Banana milkshake.
Okay, after I like
With
have the sandwich, I like whip up some coffee for GB and myself as well.
Yeah, no problem. You guys work a good bit into the night. Drazian, you kind of take your cut off at like 2:33. And you're like, right, that's me out. I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, building. That's where the cutoff's going to be before you start to take. Well, if you're taking
with
actually,
the sandwich, like if that makes the long rest a short rest count as a long rest, like how much time would I need to rest then?
Short rest is an hour, right?
Short rest is so actually you could keep going till. Do you keep going for a good while? Actually,
Then I'm just gonna like keep going for as long as I can until I need to take that short rest.
Yeah. Yeah. So Geraldine and Drazian just keep going in the library. They just keep going at it, and they don't stop. They just, they take some coffee, have a snack break, and they just keep going. Sorry, Lilith. Geraldine and Drazian keep going.
So I only get 6 hours of the healing potion stuff before I have to trance.
Unless you're also taking one of the sandwiches.
Oh yeah, I might as well. That
Sandwich
makes
buddies.
sense. Yeah. Okay, so then we're. Oh my God, are GB and Dre having a meal together? Oh.
The most depressing sleepover. Let's go eat Subway in the library.
Me in college though, writing a music history paper at 2 a.m. Yup.
crying over a picture of the French Revolution while your meatball marinara drips onto your top.
I feel very attacked.
Literally me living in our music library.
Eat fresh.
Eat brief. You hear sobbing in the distance. I guess while we're eating, GB will just ask Dre about this potion that she's read about, and if he's, I guess, heard of it.
The potion of Dragon's Majesty. Would I have heard of it?
Probably not. No.
Oh, okay.
It's not a super common potion. Like if you've done your reading, you would know about it, but it's not like everybody knows about it.
You just hear about it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not something I've come across, but again, there's a lot about dragons that I don't know about. Hence, book and me trying to learn as much as I can.
The thing you have heard about, Drazian, is the ritual for one to become a dragonborn.
To become a dragonborn?
Yeah, like a.
As in, like, to change your race into a dragonborn?
Yeah. When you bathe.
Would GB have heard of this?
GB probably wouldn't have. Drazian would have been a follower of a specific god. And having known somebody who went through the process.
Wait, do you mean to be a dragonborn or a Disagairi? Or do you mean like the race a dragonborn?
The race a dragonborn.
So like people aren't. Are you saying people aren't born dragonborns then?
No, they are. People are born dragonborns, but the first dragonborn was not born a dragonborn.
Mm-hmm.
The first dragonborn slew a dragon of each colour and bathed in their blood, immersed themselves fully within the deep crimson waters that they had gathered. And where once stood a human man, came out a beast of scales, green eyes, and a fire in their stomach that no man could handle.
Welcome to Norwich.
Norwich. I am Aluria. Yeah, I am Aluria Kaileus, the elven mother to the crown prince, Drazian Calais. I'm Tim. I'm his dad, and
Norwich.
Crown Prince, who's that?
that's I don't even know if crown
The
prince
artist
is
formerly known as.
the artist formerly known as. I don't know. Crown Prince is what I call any, but like Kyler is a Crown Prince in my eyes. Just like, oh, you're from some sort of fancy house. You're a Crown Prince, because I don't know what the fuck that actually means. Same as Queen Consort. What the fuck does that mean?
It would be a scion.
It means you'll never be the Queen, Camilla. Yeah.
But yeah, Drazian like explains like, not really heard of this before, but I do know of a ritual that one can basically turn themselves into a Dragonborn.
For good?
Yeah, for good. That's how the first Dragonborns came about. They weren't born that way. They were. Was the first one like a human or an elf, or do we know? Do I know that?
First one was a human.
First one was a human. And they killed a dragon of each color, and bathed in their blood, and that is how Dragonborns came to be.
Interesting. Because this potion seems to operate kind of like the way wild shapes do.
Yeah. Can I see that? Is it something that you, that's something that you found there?
Yeah, I guess it's like just probably in a book. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing.
The concept, the concept looks similar to wild shape. No, this was it's a permanent ritual. Dren told me about it. He was born a Dragonborn, but he knows the history. Every Dragonborn taught it.
Whenever I said someone who went through it, I wasn't talking about Dren. Dren was born a Dragonborn.
Yeah.
But you do know of somebody who has went through the process.
I know of somebody, or I know them personally.
You know them personally.
Who?
Bum bum bum.
Leader of the Prophecies of the Sun.
Oh yeah. What do you call him?
Earhart.
Grayson Beerhart. When I was in Azure City, the leader of the Prophecies of the Sun, which is the kind of faction that rules the city, Grayson Beerhart, he went through the ritual. He wasn't born a Dragonborn, but went through the ritual and became one. It's a little bit of a controversial thing to do. A lot of Dragonborns don't like the idea. It can be a bit
you're not one of us. You're one of them.
Yeah. Not even that, but just the ethical side of it. But
that's a lot of dragons to kill.
Yeah, it is. Gearson's one of the most powerful warriors I've ever met. It's scary to see him in combat.
Is Azuria up here with us?
Yeah,
I assume she's nearby.
Yeah, she's just like curled up on my shoulder, which is her like kind of favorite place to just kind of curl up.
She is currently asleep, and every now and again, Jason, you've gotten used to it by now, but it still sounds like a little bit of a every now and again as she kind of does like a particularly enthusiastic snore. A small spark of static electricity jumps from her mouth to your neck, and it's kind of like, whenever you like hold like a shopping cart and you get the zap, that's what you feel, but on your neck.
Horrible.
Every 20 to 30 minutes, whenever she just goes like,
what a stim to have.
Yeah, so she's curled up on my shoulder at the minute.
How are we sitting at a table or something right now, or are we like talking across a room?
I'd imagine we're sitting at a desk at the minute.
Yeah, there's a couple of desks in here. I was either picturing you guys sitting at a desk or like just like sitting on the floor around a pile of books. Do you know what I mean?
Am I? Hmm. Can I be close enough to pet Azuria without like totally invading Dre's personal bubble?
Yeah, Azuria's tail kind of hangs off and down Dre's shoulder.
Mhm.
So you could get like the back end of her spine like scratched just above the butt.
That the good. Yeah. I'm gonna say hi to Azuria then.
Do you want to hold her for a bit? She's a really heavy sleeper. She won't wake up.
No, it's okay. Just haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
No, seriously, she doesn't wake up. Look, she grabs her by the tail and starts. Creating like a very small like convex wind and electric static, making a tornado in the library.
Oh my gosh.
Oh god. So yeah. With that then, is you guys just kind of keep working into the night until the next day? Okay. Not a problem.
So I do finish the healing potion.
Yes, you do. You learn the healing potion.
How do I make one?
You get
Like,
the
do I have
ingredient.
to roll for it? Like, or do I just say, I made a healing potion, and then I have a healing potion?
No, like, because it's common, I'm going to. It's just, oh, I make it. Okay, I've got it.
Okay.
Whenever it's like strong, like higher level stuff, that's going to be like, oh no, I'm sitting down and making this, and I need to make sure I get it right.
Okay.
But as long as you have the ingredients, you can make as much, like as many as you want.
Okay.
It will take time, so like it'll be, do you know what I mean? But so as those
So,
guys are up in there, so is anything else? Was that it?
oh, no, you're good.
Do I the time that I've spent with that enchanting book, would I be confident enough to like try enchanting something small at this point?
Yes, but there's no enchanting equipment in the house currently.
Okay, cool.
So, what if you get the enchanting equipment in? You could certainly give it a try, but there's nothing here right now.
Sweet.
As this is all happening in the library, a couple of hours earlier, Kyler, you're in the midst of your meditation. Your mind,
He does.
yeah, you're sat on the floor, feeling the connection to the hard surface beneath you, focusing on that as your single point of connection to your mortal surroundings while you kind of enter this trance state of meditation. You feel your body ease and melt like water. Each ripple and each murmur of your movement, you can feel the blood flow through you actively. You can track where, with each pump of your heart, you can trace where the blood flows and where it goes back to. And before long, this becomes the only sense you can feel. Your eyes are closed. And soon even that sense becomes dull and distant as you enter a deep trance. And you stand in your mind's eye on a beach. A beach that stretches for endless miles either way as far as you can go. As you look out into the water, you look behind you expecting to see some sort of landmass, but no, it is a small sandbar that just goes for miles in both directions, and on the other side of the sandbar is the ocean that once again is endless. You feel a rumbling in the sand. Your feet begin to kind of fall as the sand shifts and shakes and loses its solidity and almost turns into a quicksand with the speed of this vibration. But there's no panic in your being. As you turn, you see two enormous eyes, far, far, far on the horizon. A beast greater than your mind can comprehend is beyond the skyline and the clouds, and all you can see are these two luminous white orbs that would be the eyes of the Deep One staring at you. You feel the rumbling once again, and you look to either side as the sandbar that reaches endlessly away from you on either side begins to curl up until the world itself creates almost like a tube, and you're standing at the bottom of that tube, a single line of land circling it and ocean going forevermore. As the water from above begins to fall, collapsing towards you, the thunderous roar of liquid hitting liquid. The eyes get closer and closer, and before long the eyes are bigger than the world itself, and your vision goes black. And you open your eyes back in your room, finishing your meditation, feeling content, feeling reassured. And you go to bed for the night. The next day, as it comes about, Drazian and Lilith, sorry, no, Drazian and Geraldine, I'm so used to talking about the couple. Drazian and Geraldine, you guys are still awake as everybody else is getting up. You hear the rumblings of people opening doors and starting to move downstairs. You all get your breakfast, whatever it may be. Gather your things. Pardon me. And if everybody is comfortable... Oh, go ahead.
Would Deepstone have finished Kyler's order yet, or will that be another couple days?
Well, that would be another couple days.
No worries.
Because it's creating a full set of...
What about his battle jacket from Monsieur Cold?
Yeah, you can go collect that.
Yeah.
Like after class today, it would be.
Oh, you can't send him in without his jacket, man. Yeah, no, fair play. In that case, we're gonna go for a little reference to home with a floral howdy, like
Yeah.
that's got like a little CC like over where Kyle's heart would be,
A
and then
monogrammed
like a Roman
Harry.
numeral, and then like a Roman numeral for 2 beneath it. So it's his dad's merch.
Love that.
Question: would I have got my jacket back from Mr. Cold yet? Because I had literally just got the symbol engraved onto the back of it.
You would have went on the Sunday to pick it up.
Okay.
Well, actually,
cool.
what were you getting done on your battle jacket?
It was
You-
like I was getting like the symbol of Avum etched, the Avum symbol like etched into it.
Yeah, you would be able to go collect that on Trading, which is Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler,
It was
you were
the-
just getting like a bunch of
Snakes in the jacket of useful things was both.
Yes.
Both of them.
Yeah, those are just getting stitched on. So yeah, you could actually go pick that up. I forgot that there was like a spare day because my
Mhm.
brain went foggy. Yeah, so you've got your battle jacket then.
Do we have to roll the items in? Like what was on?
We can roll it whenever it comes to you using it.
Oh, okay. Do I not know? Is it like a case of not knowing like what?
Oh no, you do know, but like I said, I don't plan for combat today, so I don't.
Okay,
You
I'll
should.
just-
Yeah.
I'll just what's the snake thing called?
Robe of Serpents.
Okay, I will just add both of these and deal with them later. I don't have serpents. I don't think. No, I don't. Okay. No worries. I got the other one. Don't worry about it. Sorry.
That's okay. So, in the morning, as you guys kind of like do your morning routines, do what you're needing to do, everybody hops on Shenzhou and rides across the lake for the first classes of the day. As you get to the other side of the class, as you get to the other side of the lake, Kronk and Lilith both break off to go to their own classes, which leaves the three of you heading towards the main lecture hall for Intro to Magical Beasts and Herbology. As you get there, it is almost like a long church, but each of the pews have these huge, heavy desks in front. And there's like a single podium at the front for a speaker. It's really quite intimidating when you first walk in, if you're not used to that kind of architecture. As you'll walk in and sit down, do you guys sit together, or do you spread out?
I will sit. Kyler will sit with the man down, but will make a point of kind of going out to him and being like, "Hi, Kyler Cresto, nice to meet you." Like literally, just make his way around the room, kind of not really getting the nuances of people who are kind of together. Doesn't matter if they're talking, what it is. Like, "Hi, I'm Kyler Cresto. It's nice. It's great to meet you. Love the jacket, man. It's cool." Like, oh, great choice of eye makeup. You know, we don't wear a lot of makeup under the water because, you know, it all has to be waterproof. And like just kind of making his way around like that. But he will sit with the man down, yeah.
Yeah, I'll sit with these two.
Yeah, most of Geraldine, do you sit with them?
Yeah.
Not a problem. Yeah, most of the people you go up to and kind of introduce yourself to, Kyler, are not the most receptive to it. They're not like hostile or antagonistic, but they're like, okay, yeah. Purely because it's like, wait, we've been in a week of classes already. You guys are just coming here now. I'm pretty sure you guys were also the ones who scored the highest on the entrance exam. Where the fuck did you disappear for the last week? So there's that kind of air of like, everybody's watching you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take long before the class is all settled. And you hear a fumbling of the classroom doors, the lecture hall doors. And in stumbles this scrawny... You're actually not quite sure what race they are. You're also not quite sure what gender they are.
It's a fucking changeling.
But this scrawny humanoid figure kind of stumbles in, carrying a pile of books and scrolls and containers of all sorts of manner of plant matter, and you're pretty sure you can see some sort of like dragonfly-esque insect bouncing off of the inside of like a glass jar as they kind of like stumble forward and place everything down. And as they turn around, they slam their hands on the podium, breathing heavily. Well, I'm sorry about that. I did not expect to be called up to teach a lesson today. your professor for this class, Professor Udice, has unfortunately fallen sick. Is from the information that I've been given, and I'm here to take over. My name is Vasi. Those of you who know me already, those of you who have taken the potion crafting courses, and those of you who are going to take potion crafting in the future, if you decide to take that on as an additional elective, you will get to know me. I am the potions master here, and I suppose that means I'm the closest thing that is available for herbology, that is short of Madame Mercury, who is teaching her own second year class currently. So hello.
Vasi, did you say?
Vacy, Vacy.
That Professor Visi got me acting unwise.
You see as Vacy kind of like straightens themselves and kind of tidies up they're wearing this kind of like long black cardigan that kind of like the sleeves are slightly too long. It looks kind of ill-fitting against their like scrawny frame, but it's comfortable, and you can tell that they don't really care as long as it's comfortable. As they kind of stumble forward. So, welcome to the second week of your classes here at True Arms Academy for Adventurers. This is the turns around and looks at the like scrawling notepad they have. The herbology and intro to magic be. Why am I teaching intro to magic be? The Herbology and Intro to Magic Beasts course. This is going to be a joint course for the first month, and then after that you will split into your individual courses. Those of you who have taken both that will be worked out for your timetable, do not worry. What have you guys been learning? And you see one of the students kind of puts their hands up and goes, well, actually, last week we was learning about the difference between living plant matter and living plants. They're classified as different creatures in herbology. One is living plant matter, that is something that has no semblance of sentience, and living plants are things that will bite you. That's correct. That's a very important distinction to make, because a mandrake is a living plant, but mandrake's wart is living plant matter. Two very different things. So, who here can tell me the native flower or the native herb of Agolane?
Is this something Geraldine would know?
Would you like to make an intelligence roll to find out?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a nature roll for me.
Could I be really cheeky and roll a survival check? Would that work for it?
It's not survival, unfortunately, because
Right,
it's
cool.
not the kind of like herb or plant that's used to like help you survive.
Uh-huh.
It's just like what grows naturally here.
Okay, cool.
So it wouldn't have been in something that you would have studied.
Is it not like the national flower bag? Like, you know, like six have like. Is that what the question was, or was it like just what is here?
No, like what is like the
Either
thing?
way, Kyle doesn't have a fucking Scooby, but like
The thing that only grows here, like it's the native
I rolled
flower.
17.
That's enough. River lily. Is kind of colloquial name. Its Elvish name is about 3 paragraphs long. So I'm not going to inundate you with that. But it's either called river lily, or as like if you want to shorten down the Elvish name, Selenia Ifrig Vald.
Geraldine is going to say the Elvish name for it, but like the shortened
Is
version.
cat?
Yeah.
Cat sure is not.
Selenia Ifrik Wald is correct. That's most people don't know that in their first couple of weeks, because it's a very rare plant. It doesn't have any medicinal properties. It doesn't have any properties at all, really, other than being very pretty. So very good. Now, why is it important to know a plant that has no properties? Why should we still know about those? One of the students shoots up their hand. Would it be because it is a good idea to be able to identify it so that you know where you are? Usually that would be a good answer, but if you see a river lily and you don't see Agalain, something's very wrong with your eyesight. It's in the middle of a city. No. It's a good idea to know plants that have no meaning. Yes, go ahead.
A client might want them for something, like.
Correct. It's very important to remember that you are at a school for adventurers. What you're going to be doing a lot of the time is taking on requests, taking on jobs. A client may want a river lily, and it's important to know that you get the right thing. It's a very, very good blue guy.
He's a Triton. His name's Kyler.
Kyler. Thank you, elf boy. Yes, blue guy. Kyler, sorry. It's correct.
Dude.
Canonically speaking, does Kyler have his headband of intelligence on right now? Or no?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Kyler does. But Kyler is also taking notes with a long malachite needle onto stone. Like, that's how he's taking his notes. Like, in Aquan, so no one else can read them.
You see, as Vasi kind of continues their ramble. Now, the interesting fact about the river lily is that it appears to be completely made out of water. Everything about it appears to be made out of water. The stem, the bud, the petal, everything. As such, it's a very highly sought after plant for its unique visual accoutrements, what it can be used for in bouquets and different such things. Vasi kind of sits back against the podium. Have you guys gone on a field trip yet?
With this class or in general? Because those are two completely different answers.
With this class.
No.
Yeah, with this class. Okay.
I can look around and see if anyone.
Yeah, if someone who was here last week
volunteer the
answers.
information for the intro.
No, they all kind of shake their head. Okay. Then today, that's what we'll do. Yeah, we're gonna go on a field trip. Everybody pack up your bags and follow me. And Vasi kind of grabs the stuff back together, carrying this this yard sail within their arms, and walks out of the classroom.
Did he want a hand or anything? Do you think we should have? Nah, okay. I don't know. He's a teacher. Like...
As Vasi kind of continues on the way, you walk past Madame Mercury's Sanctuary of Roses, and you actually go to a part of the island that True Arms is on that you haven't been in before. It kind of curves around the edge and actually hides underneath the bridge that connects the island that True Arms is on to the island where Agalain is, like the landmass of Agalain. There's a small set of steps, only wide enough for one person, or like one medium humanoid or two small humanoids to walk down beside each other. Once you get down the steps, they curve slightly, and you're led to an indoor cave. Like obviously an indoor cave, but it has an indoor waterfall that pours out into this covered lake inside.
Kyle's excited.
I look over at Kyler
like,
just to get to see his expression. Like, and I just give him a look. I was like,
are there any other Aquans in the class field trip?
Not as far as you can see, no.
That's my moment.
As you kind of go down here, first what catches your eye is this amazing display of natural creation. A cave with a waterfall inside an island. You're pretty sure that it shouldn't be possible, but it's here in front of you. And what catches your eye after that is this seems to function as some sort of natural greenhouse with the humidity, as scaling the walls on the edge of the waterfall, hidden deep beneath the water that is in this indoor lake, there is any number of plants, herbs. You're pretty sure you see some moving things in the water as it goes past. There's a split second where you don't question it, and then you realize, wait, how can we see in here? We're inside. And as you look to the ceiling, there is a carpet of bioluminescent moss on the ceiling that is lighting up this interior. Vasi puts all the stuff down on what looks kind of like a hollowed out tree trunk, puts all the stuff in there, turns, and goes, I would like each of you to... Don't worry, everything in here is safe.
I wasn't worried.
Going purely off of your instinct and the things that you know about plants. Go and pick something, bring it back. Something interesting, something that you think has properties of whatever nature you choose. If you want to look for something poisonous, look for something poisonous. If you want to look for something that has medicinal properties, do so. Bring it back to me, and I will show you all something quite amazing. And kind of actually, like, in an act that is so out of left field, crawls into the hollowed out tree stump and just bunkers down with the books that they have brought, and is gone from sight for a moment.
Alright, gang, let's split up and look for clues.
So, you can, in this situation, roll nature, survival, or just straight intelligence. Whatever role you would like to do.
survival it is.
Can I firstly go to the floor of the water in this cave? Because no one else is going to look there if there's no other Aquans. So whatever I find, even if it's shit, no one else will have. So
you can do.
And then can I do guidance as well?
Okay, go right ahead.
That's a 4. Okay, this bodes well. And then most of it's dog shit. Let's go nature. That's 13 nature check at the bottom of the lake.
Okay. What about yourself, Geraldine? Would you like to roll nature?
I'm gonna do guidance and nature.
Okay, no
is
problem.
quote unquote cheating to can I cast like locate plants or something like if I want like something like
Specific?
whatever the most
Kyler's going under the
onto the
water
bottom.
and
Okay,
where no one
fair
else
enough.
can go, so it's not cheating.
Whatever is like the most like off the beaten path, I guess, that like wouldn't be like a typical well-known one. Like I can't just like go get a river lily, right? Like I can't
No,
just go
you
collect
can't.
it, right?
You can't
Okay.
just go collect it. No.
Yeah, are there any like poisonous plants around?
There are.
What is the most poisonous plant around?
The one that stands out to you immediately is a seemingly unassuming flower. You kind of walk up and you wouldn't notice it at first, but it takes maybe about 5 seconds for you to realize that this plant's roots are not in the stone. The base of this small daisy-esque flower are actually injection-like spiked thorns that are sucking the life out of the plants around them. There's a very thin line of decay around the thorns that sticks out of the base of this plant. And it clicks with you that this thing probably isn't good.
Great, I'm gonna go get one of those.
Yeah.
Can I put it in a vial or something like that I have?
Yeah,
Instead
absolutely.
of just like holding
just
it around with me?
you just pluck it off and put it in the thing. You watch that as you actually pluck it and the stem becomes disconnected from the roots, this kind of like very small network of thorns that it had created as its base just falls harmlessly off the wall.
Can I druid craft that little area back into like healthy soil?
You can indeed.
Okay, I'm gonna do
there's
that.
there's no issue of it. You just kind of till the soil a bit and bring back some life to it.
Great.
Okay.
I'm gonna go find Drazian.
Drazian, with a 9 on your survival, what are you looking for?
So what I'm gonna try and find either something edible or something healing wise. If I can't find something like that, how far is the bioluminescent moss above me? Is it like in reachable distance?
It is not within reachable distance. It's probably about 40, 50 feet above you.
Ah, fuck yeah, I'm fucked then. Yeah,
You do have-
with the
you
9.
I will say you do have Azuria. Azuria could just go up and carry some in her mouth. But it depends if you want to bring her out and about.
I haven't brought Azuria with me because I don't want like her to, in case we get into a situation, I don't want her to be revealed to like this entire fucking class, like, so
Okay.
she is not here. Yeah, with a 9, what can I find anything?
You do find knife root, which is generally kind of like this like thick barkish plant that is used as like a hard material if you're trying to survive. If you don't have a knife, you've always got knife fruit is kind of the thought of it.
Oh, so you can use it like a weapon essentially?
Yeah. You can like as long as you like snap the base of it without hurting yourself, you can like hold it as like it would be a dagger essentially.
Okay. I take it that's all I find then, yeah.
Well, no, you would find that, and then you would find the most basic kind of like elf leaf, which is this. It is the like base potion ingredient for like all potions. Do you know the way in like in like Dragon Age, it's elf fruit.
Yeah.
Everything is off of elf fruit.
Uh-huh.
In Minecraft, everything is off of netherwort. It's that. This is like the baseline for everything.
Cool.
So
Okay,
you
well,
see,
I pick up both of those.
okay, Kyler, as Drazian is as Drazian is, picking these both the knife fruit and the elf leaf up. You are currently about 30 feet down and are yet to reach the bottom of this indoor lake.
I can see underwater. How deep is it?
There's about another 60 feet.
Yeah, okay. I have dark vision of 60 feet. And I can see underwater.
You can just see the end of this, like the end of this indoor lake. And as you go down towards the bottom, you're about 30 feet away from the bottom whenever you see a figure in the water shoot across the water. It goes too fast for you to see what it is, but it was some sort of bulbous body followed by a number of trailing appendages.
I would like to call out an Aquan. Hey dude, are you a person or a plant? And then follow along, taking kind of dashing speed of swimming.
There's no response. And after a second, your vision goes completely black as you have been inked.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Squish.
Do I have anything to deal with that? Let me see.
It doesn't hurt you. It's effectively just like an actual, like, because it's not darkness, it's just something in your eyes.
You made me ink. Have you guys not seen Finding Nemo?
No,
Yes.
I just hate the line.
Oh, okay. Oh, jeez, it's a good line. Eli did not like that.
Yeah, they're just taking out.
I felt viscerally uncomfortable.
Wipe it out of Kyler's eyes. Just
As you wipe it out of Kyler's eyes, you see now the rather large, maybe about your size, squid kind of like floating backwards away from you. And squids don't have like appendable tentacles, but you're pretty sure if this squid could, it'd be giving you the double bird as it's like floating away from you.
it's like,
And
dude,
you get the feeling that this squid is just a jackass.
dude, it's so not cool. God, is this water freshwater as well? Is this a freshwater squid?
This is a freshwater squid.
Goddamn freshwater.
Freshwater derogatory.
Freshwater squid.
But you do notice as the squid kind of goes past you that there's a plant that seems to have been covered in its ink as well.
Yeah, let's approach that. Let's swim over.
As you swim over and you kind of instinctively go to like rub the ink off, it doesn't come off. But you notice that the more you rub it, you're like squeezing ink out of the plant
Onto my thumb.
onto your thumb and like into the water.
How deep is the roots of the plant? Can we like brush aside like the rocks and sand and see what's there?
You could brush it aside, and the roots maybe go about halfway up your forearm.
Can we take out Trina and just leave her out?
Yeah, without issue. You can even just kind of like get like a bit further down and just like twist and pull it off. You'll leave the roots there, so they'll grow into a new one, but you'd be taking this one with you. If that's what you want to go for.
Let's grab that, and on the way, let's just flip off the squid.
As you flip off the squid, you see another cloud of black ink coming towards you, but you're past the point where it was aiming at this point, and the black ink just kind of blurs your vision of where the squid was, and by the time it clears, the squid is gone.
Ayo, I'm swimming here!
Hey, I'm swimming here!
Kyler will just
Goddamn New York squids.
That is
return
so
to the
real.
surface with a plant, and then
Okay.
kind of emerge from the water. Just go, shake the hair free, slick it back.
And much like any like Disney movie, you get out and your clothes are perfectly dry. Your skin and your hair are like soaking wet, but your clothes are perfectly dry. It's all about the look.
Wet denim.
Ugh. Smells like a wet dog.
They're specially made. It's like Edna Mode in The Incredibles. Makes all of Kyler's clothes specifically so they don't get wet.
There's an anti-chafing enchantment on them, actually.
Yeah, that's it. It is. Do you know that spray you get that just makes everything hydrophobic?
Yeah, that's
like-
it.
Sorry, I don't tolerate prejudice. Yeah, it's Atlantean denim.
That's it. It's titanium.
That's it. That's the one. Titanium.
Titanium. You like this? 100% pure titanium.
That's
another
Kyler's new hymn when he's like doing his hymns to the demon.
Bulletproof, nothing to lose. Far away, far away.
Harpoon gun. You take your aim.
I'm
had,
titanium. Dun, 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 dun.
I had Poseidon. That was
Beside denim. The man denim. Whenever Kyler gets you guys all into like matching denim jackets during like a boy band arc, here with the man denim.
Obsessed.
Tell me why. Okay.
Glenn had a great name for like this week's group because last week's group was the Chaos Crew. We're the Valheimlich maneuver.
The Valheim.
We have been streaming a fair bit of Viking game.
No shame.
God. Well, I can't wait for you to see. I can't wait for because Kat's in the offline server now. Can't wait for Kat to see the house that I built.
Excited.
But yeah, you guys see as everybody kind of like gathers up. Everybody has these different plants, and Vasi kind of goes through them one by one, explaining, oh yes, this is a plant that has a lot of medicinal properties, but it tastes like. You guys are all over 18, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it tastes like utter shit. You don't want to be. You do not want to take this without some honey and some sugar. It will make you want to throw up whatever you had for breakfast this morning. And kind of goes through. And you can see that they're much more at home in this cave compared to like
The classroom.
the classroom. Yeah. I think I heard Amara making noise, so I'm just going to be a bit quieter, but it's okay because I have the new blue snowball microphone. As they kind of come around to you guys. So, show me what you've got. And the first person that they come to is rolling a 1d3. Kyler.
Yeah.
Vasi comes to you first and says, "So, let me see what you found."
It's like a squid plant thing. It kind of
Uh,
puts ink everywhere. And it's gonna shake it vigorously and spray it on the floor.
yeah, as you kind of shake it, ink does just like splatter out everywhere. You watch as Vasi kind of like goes, and that's why I wear the black cardigan. And he like pulls it across himself just to make sure no other ink can stain. Um, you're pretty close. Yes, that's like a squid due to the ink, but it's called a black petal ink vial. Uh, Essentially, as long as you keep it rooted in enough water, it will continuously produce ink. Many sorcerers and wizards would have it for spell components, things of that kind of matter. Specifically wizards. Do you know how expensive just a vial of ink can be on a wizard's salary? It's not fun. So very good find. Those only grow deep in the lake there. Did you manage to go down there?
Yeah, there was a squid down there. He was a very unpleasant fellow, might I add. But
Yeah, that's
do
Jerry.
you want me to go put it? Do you want me to go put it? Terry,
Jerry.
Jerry, do you want me to go and put this back and have a word with him about his manners?
Jerry's kind of an asshole. I appreciate the offer, but Jerry makes sure that the plants down there, make sure that any of the other bioorganisms within the lake don't go and munch on any of the rare plants. He's a bit of an asshole, but it's because he's the only squid in there, so he doesn't really know how to socialize, you know. It's just how he is. If you visit him, he'll come to tolerate you. Uh, don't worry, I don't think you'll have to deal with him too much. But great find, great find. The only one to get something that deep in the lake. So well done. You can keep the plant if you want, but now that you've removed it from its roots and out of the water, you're probably going to only get about 10 hours use out of it before it dries up.
Oh, can you fix this, Jolene? Is this?
Is that something I can fix with like Druidcraft?
You could like fix the roots, but it would still need to be like planted in the water to like have it the nutrients it needs. Druidcraft doesn't just make it like
Yeah,
immortal,
it just
you know what I
makes
mean?
it blossom, sensory effects. Can I keep it?
You can
I don't want
if
it.
you want.
I don't want it.
If it, yeah, I want to keep it then.
Yeah, not a problem. Do you just
Get
pop it into a vial again?
Yeah, is it small enough to fit into like
Oh
a
yeah, yeah.
vial? Okay.
The only
Then
one
yeah,
who
I'll do
hasn't
that.
picked up something small enough is Drazian.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'll go dip the vial in the water and put it in a bag of holding.
not a problem.
I'm gonna make a fish tank in the library. Maybe not in the library.
I don't know. I think
Fish
that'd be
tank
kind of
and
cool.
Fish tank in Kyler's room.
Can we
Go-
just make Kyler's room a fish tank?
You just go in one day and Kyler's just like sleeping on top of the fish tank, just going.
Just like create sphere of water and Kyler is sleeping inside of it.
Kyler, when we said waterbed, this isn't what we meant.
What did you mean?
What else
all
would
over
you have-
again?
Scale Veil?
You know, most people at a party say they'll sleep in the bathtub as like a last resort. Kyler fills it up and is like more comfortable there than anywhere else.
Thank God.
Girls crying in the toilet, like. I'm trying to get a nap here. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but like, come on.
Seriously.
He's not interested. Like, listen, it's tough to hear sometimes.
There's plenty
It's
other
really
fish
tough
in the
for me to
sea.
hear.
There's plenty of walkers on the land.
Good lord.
Incredible.
There's plenty more boots on the dirt, which is not a very pleasant saying now that I think about it. Next up, Drazian comes along to you and goes, and what do you have?
I picked up a couple of things. So there's knife fruit, really handy if you stuck in the wilderness and you've got a dagger that it breaks. Can use this to hunt, sharpen things, etc. And then I've got some elf leaf, basic healing ingredient.
Very good. You seem to know things that you were grabbing beforehand, which is quite good. You did note that they are both survival plants, which is very beneficial to have as an adventurer. And a lot of people don't know, and you watch as he takes the elf leaf and kind of wraps it around the knife fruit and almost does like a cleaning motion with the knife fruit. And you watch as the elf leaf that is kind of generally this like vibrant green with a slightly blue hue turns this like purple and red color. And as he's kind of like massaging the knife into it, and they go, elf fruit bruises very easily. And whenever it bruises, it changes to this color. It doesn't change its properties. However, this looks very similar to poisonous plants. Elf fruit can be used to trick people into thinking that you're giving them poison, but you're actually giving them something beneficial. Can be handy if you are ever in a hostage situation. Not that I have been, but...
So it could also work vice versa as well. You could tell them it's bruised elf leaf when it's actually poison.
Exactly. So if you find a plant that looks like this, don't be too hasty in leaving it behind. Wait for a while and see if the bruising disappears. It's important to know.
How long does it take for the bruising to disappear typically?
Usually between 30 to 45 minutes is the time that the bruising would disappear.
Alright.
Of course, that doesn't work if you're in a rush, but if you've got the time to sit and wait, I would recommend it. Because it's a win-win. Either you get a plant with healing properties, or you get a plant with poison properties that you can use. So, it is what it is. And finally, he comes round to you, Geraldine, and goes, and you.
I'm going to hand them the vial.
As they take the vial from you, their eyes kind of, not widen necessarily, but like scrunch in and go, where did you find this?
Can I just point to the spot of like freshly tilled soil where I pulled it out of?
Yeah, and as you do, Vasi like pushes past you and goes over and like looks under, like starts moving the soil and looking and goes, no, 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 no. Turns up, like stands up and turns around and looks at the class and goes, class, who can tell me what a weed is?
It's a thing you're not meant to sell on street corners because people get arrested for it.
Good joke. A weed is a nuisance and something that kills your plants and something that you should exterminate as soon as you see one.
I wasn't joking.
Sometimes they can look pretty. Sometimes they are deadly. And you can see Vasi kind of like rushes up to you, and for a moment it's slightly intimidating because while they are quite scrawny, they are quite tall, and kind of like comes up and goes, "You have just found a weed in this garden that is supposed to have no weeds."
Good job.
Nice one, GB.
The head shoots around to you, Kyler. Good job indeed. But it means that there's something here that should not be here. The head shoots to you, Drizian. Good job. Nice one. This field trip has just turned into a mission.
Yes.
That's
here
what I'm
knows how
talking
to-
about.
And you watch as like he kind of turns around and goes, as they turn around, goes, "Who here knows how to swim?"
Me. Like I'm like, yeah, me. I can swim faster than you can run, dude.
He lives underwater. We can swim well
actually
enough,
live
but he's the
in a
optimal
house.
choice here.
But I did live in underwater, yeah. Not anymore. Right now I live in Agalane. The commute from the ocean would be quite tedious.
True.
Geraldine slightly raises her hand, like, I can wild shape, so.
Okay. Vasi grabs the two of you by the scruff of the neck and like pulls you forward, looks over at Drazian and goes, "These are your friends.
Yeah.
You can hold your
Yeah.
breath." And grabs you by the scruff of your neck and pulls you forward and looks through the crowd and goes, "Where is there?" And rushes over to another individual. One who had spoken earlier in the class, but none of you had spoken to quite yet. And Drazian, it is at this point that you actually see, like, as they come, as this person steps forward, you know this face. This is a face that you have interacted with before. This is a face that you grew up seeing. This is Tari, a court mage in training of one of the other city-states that would have surrounded Avon. She's older now, as are you. But as she kind of steps forward, she looks at you and she gives like a little
White person
smile. Yeah, like a white person smile. And Vasi goes, "Now, we're all going for a swim." And jumps under the water. Comes
Drake.
back up a second later and is like paddling, like floating on the water, going, "Are you coming?"
Kyler's gonna walk backwards and look at the crowd, like as he walks backwards, and do a backflip into the water.
Roll an acrobatics check for me.
I'm gonna give myself guidance for it as well. I'm gonna do like a Catholic bless myself, and then do the acrobatics check. It's a +1.
I'm going to also cast guidance
19.
on Dre.
You're going to cast guidance on Dry. Okay.
Yeah.
19, no problem.
And that's a +3.
+3, we win these.
Okay.
And GB's gonna say to Dre to give me their bag, because my bag of holding will shift into me when I shift.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, GB.
Kyler, you do actually, like, as you are stepping backwards, you do like the Catholic bless, do the peace sign, and your foot like slips on a piece of moss, but you turn it into this amazing, like, backwards dive that turns into a flip at the very end as your feet, with, like, no splash, go into the water.
Let's go.
Chibi's gonna kind of like laugh and roll her eyes and say to Dre to hold on. And she's gonna go into the water and shift into a shark.
Oh shit! I like extend my hand out to Tari to come with us as well.
Ari steps forward, like takes your hand and goes, like just gives you this look of like what's going, and watches as Geraldine turns into a shark. Just sighs, shakes her head, and gets on the back of the shark also.
As we do, I just like say, just like old times. Just to see if there's a reaction. I want to see if there's a reaction.
Who are you saying that to?
To Tari.
Oh, okay. When were you? What?
She looks at you and she like, do you know the sigh of you haven't changed?
You know, I want to know, does she recognize me? Because obviously I don't sound or look like how she would have seen me.
Yeah.
I want to see if there's like a confusion or if it's fucking you, isn't it?
She does recognize you, which takes you a second to remember that she is a Kalash Tar. So she has a connect. She can kind of always read, and she knows that it's you. She knew that it was you from the moment she saw you, but you obviously look very different. So she didn't step forward in case there was a reason you didn't want to be recognized. I'm going to ask Drazian for you to roll a Constitution check for me to see how well you hold your breath.
Just a normal con. A con check or a con save?
On check.
Okay.
Just to see how well you can hold your breath.
That's a nat 20, so that's a 23.
Yeah, you have no issue. As the group goes down into the water, Kyler, you see approaching the group as they all go down. You see Jerry heading straight for the group.
Dude, can you just like this is all in Aquan, so like it's like, dude, can you actually just chill? Like, look, man, I get being the only saltwater fucker in a freshwater town, but like, come on, bro, that's so not kosher.
Do I gain being able to speak Aquan as a shark?
You can speak.
What
So
kind of what
Aquan
kind
is
of
different
shark?
to animal, but like
Okay.
any aquatic animal can understand Aquan. If you know what I mean, it's like any, like a lot of, any like air animal, like anything that flies constantly can
Right.
understand Orin, which is the like
Can Perry the platypus understand Aquan?
Yeah, right.
Canonically, yes.
Aquan and Terran.
Yes.
He's a semi-aquatic, egg-laying mammal of action.
Was Perry's AC. Yeah, but yeah, like, dude, just chill out, man. There's something about like a weed, like not the drug, but like, you don't know what a drug is. Not the like there's something here that shouldn't be here, and we're trying to figure out what it is. Like, I'm not saying you did a bad job, but the guy was saying it was like your job to like not have that happen. So
Can't believe you just fucking bullied a squid by going, "You've never done drugs, you fucking loser."
Fucking loser.
Takes 2d6 psychic damage.
Made the homies peer pressuring the squid into taking crack.
You can't like a spliff underwater, man. What can I say?
Jesus.
You can sniff
Yeah,
powder,
yeah.
though.
It's a lot harder.
Yeah.
Still doable.
Doable,
It's more possible than letting us flip.
Could you imagine doing a line in zero gravity and you don't need to do anything because it just like goes.
Right, give me a minute because I really need to pee.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Should we take our 5? We've done
Yeah,
the
let's
three
take a
already.
break. Yeah, just do
Well,
like a quick break.
we're going to wrap up in a bit anyway because this is going to lead into the battle portion of next week.
Okay. Right,
So,
I'll be back in
wait-
2 minutes then.
Yeah. We'll wait until
Crying.
Eli's back anyway.
That was a shorter one.
It's a shorter one because,
Mhm.
unfortunately, without my lovely wife,
IRL,
there was going to be like Tari, who is her character, and Drazian were going to have like a bit of like, oh my god, it's you, oh my god. But I don't want to roleplay on her behalf.
Makes sense.
But we can KO Kronk. That's okay.
That's where we draw the line.
KOing Chris. Yeah, it's Chris though. We can KO Chris. Kronk's on the couch making death saves, man. Like, oh, why is my nose like this today? What the fuck? Let me just.
Why does my arm smell faintly like curdled dairy product?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? But as you guys all travel beneath the waves, as Jerry's kind of going past, you watch as Vasi gives Jerry this kind of like sharp look, and Jerry, in the most teenager you've ever looked a squid, does like an eye roll and like out of the way, leaving a very small trail of ink. Just like a, yeah, I'll fucking do what you tell me, but I won't be happy about it. As you guys continue on past, you get to a point in the cave that you hadn't seen yet, Kyler, where there is like an underwater, it kind of like goes around and creates like an airlock. And as you go to the other side of the airlock, there's this kind of broken wall in front of you. And as Vasi is like not drying themselves off, but like shaking off the water, like getting everything ready, Vasi turns around and goes, I'm sure most of you are aware that the school is immense, has many different places, many different things to see, and a lot of it is connected. There's another class that are currently traveling through here, but this is a beginner's labyrinth, kind of a dungeon that is underneath True Arms that we use to train some of the classes to, teach you what to expect if you're going dungeoneering for the first time. This wall should not be broken. Usually, down here is where I would come if I need some alone time.
Does that
But
happen frequently?
From time to time. But this wall should not be broken, and the fact that I knew that this wall was broken is because elf girl
Geraldine.
You called her Gibby earlier.
GB. Geraldine Boulevard.
Oh,
GB.
oh.
It's a nickname.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well...
Geraldine is her Nicholas name. Thanks to
Miss Boulevard. This particular dungeon has a particular fondness for creatures of the Fey variety, which tend to like plants and life matter and things of that sort. So I hope you're all ready for whatever we find in here, because I'm not leaving until I find the source of these weeds. Is
Don't
that
worry.
okay with you?
Not our first rodeo.
Sir, I hope you don't mind the question, but you seem sort. I mean,
Professor, just Professor.
Professor. Apologies. You don't. I hope you don't mind the question, but are you an adventurer too? Because Professor Udai said he kind of wasn't, and like.
I'm a adventurer in that I have a ranking, and you watch as the fingertips of Vasi kind of begin to elongate and shift. But it's hard to go up in the rankings whenever you don't like to use your body as the weapon. And you watch as Vasi's arms have turned into these long, black, jagged spikes. And the face begins to kind of go blurry. I'm not the only changeling that's a ranked adventurer, but I'm one of few.
What?
Turns.
What?
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's just like what rank are you?
As Vasi kind of turns to you, there's a moment of like shyness where it's kind of like, oh, you don't need to ask, and then kind of turns around and goes, I've killed a pit fiend.
Badass.
And walks forward into the dungeon. And that's where we're going to leave it for this session. Was a bit of a shorter one, but I want to leave a chunk of stuff for whenever my lovely wife actually gets to join us next week. I know unfortunately
So sad.
Kat won't be here. Kat, if you would like to give anybody control of your character, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about it, but probably you if you want it, or otherwise I can just stay as a shark for a quick escape or whatever. But if that's the easiest way to
Going
write her
into-
out,
Getaway shark.
yeah, can I be a
Holy-
getaway? I'm a little getaway reef shark.
Leave the wild shape. Leave the wild shape running.
Ooh, wild shape does run out though.
Wild shape does run out after like an hour or two, I think it is.
Mine's 2 hours, yeah.
2 hours. Yeah, oh, sorry. All I can imagine now is it's one of my favorite jokes from like a comedy special. It's Peter Kay gets a taxi to the venue and he tells him like, right, be here by the time I finish because I'm going to need a taxi back home. And he goes and he does the show and he comes back and he goes, why is the fucking meter on 300? And he goes, oh, I waited here, I left the meter running. I didn't want to leave in case I wasn't back in time. It's one of my... It's just like a wee silly thing that's so smart. It's just like the idea of a getaway shark. It's like, leave the getaway shark running. Just generally going...
What? The whole time.
Blowing bubbles.
The whole time.
So yeah, there we go. That's this week's session. DC101, brilliant name.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, the cooker joke is also quite a good joke from that show. The cooker joke might be slightly too British. That's like, don't know, might be slightly too British. But either way,
Right.
thank
we
you everybody
will-
for coming. Yes, we're going to raid into
Uh,
someone.
Tabletop Notch are on in there.
D-
We
Tabletop
can,
Notch,
D4 is live, but they've got. Oh
Like-
yeah, they're there.
they've got like 400. Tabletop Notch is at
22.
Oh. Tabletop Notch. Their thing is saying no stream tonight. See you next week.
Okay, that's weird. Right,
Oh,
I
their
guess.
their
Then
their
why would you
studio
go live?
because they're letting because this is when they usually go live.
They
Their
run a
their
rerun?
studio flooded.
Oh, F. Right, then we can go into D4 then.
What about Perception?
There's somebody.
I've got another one on.
There's somebody called
Perception Studio.
Daddy-
on 22.
There's somebody called Daddy Warbucks, and one of their players is a polar bear.
Okay, we'll do that one then.
Incredible.
Spell that for me. Daddy
Yeah.
War.
That's it.
I'll put it in the.
But
Like from
like, the
Annie?
Annie character.
It's
Hell yeah.
there we go.
That's.
It's in the Twitch
Okay.
chat.
Oh, not quite.
One of their players is a polar bear, and I was like,
Cool. We
I love
will.
this.
Bjorn, is that you?
We'll read into them, and we will see you guys next week.
yes,
Bye-bye.
ladies.
See you in a couple weeks.